Never let a wishbone grow.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. It's a rivalry that dates back to 1921. The Packers and Bears are underway from Chicago. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Now a play fake. Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On play action, now Rodgers. Completed out left to Doubs. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Forced out to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Steps away to his left, and he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it, incomplete.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. To Montgomery to begin the drive. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. These two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Now a first carry for their fullback. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
And that was a good collision right there, and I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it, and on that play you did, so you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. The Bears had 5 and 9 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football.
But a fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Packers are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week. And he can't do it all on one throw.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Play action. It's Fields. Steps away. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Now Fields. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 4th down, Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
On 2nd and 10, Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
On 1st down, Rodgers. Flushed out right. That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. Pettis now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Rodgers finds his man, Dobbs. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And this one is incomplete. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
They'll run it with Jones, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Packers unable to pick up the first, and the Bears will get the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. Off play action, Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Going deep for Montgomery. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
On play action, it's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers.
He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper.
He's got room at the 30.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
Rodgers to throw once more. Touchdown! Romeo Doubs, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove. They're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Back to throw, Fields.
Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Pettis now from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half.
Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And the Packers pick it up. 20, 10. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Pettis now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down.
A play fake, now Fields to throw.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
To throw is Fields. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Fields.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Odell Beckham with career touchdown number 75.
And the Bears get a bit closer. Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT.
And he's got it as the score is now 31-7.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Adrian Phillips. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd and 11 now, Fields. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Here's Fields.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
They snap it to Fields.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
Pass complete on the crossing route. This is Hooper. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
He'll buy some time right. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. He finds Watson complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
They'll roll him out right.
And complete once again to Watson.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a 1st down.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers.
Aaron Jones
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Packers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
Pettis now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here's Fields.
He completes it to Beckham. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down.
The offense on third down tonight,
They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches.
he's going to have the first down and more than that.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That's good for 28 yards.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Throwing again is Fields.
He'll rifle this one deep right side.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch. There he goes left side. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Packers.
A.J. Dillon
taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards.
And the Packers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage.
PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Love's throw finds its target, Dobbs.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play that time on the catch and run. 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Romeo Doubs
With his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game.
And the Packers are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this fourth quarter lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
Pettis now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. First down, Heineke.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
They go play action. Now Heineke.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll let it go deep for Beckham.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Third and long for Love. Flush to his right. And it's caught by Hooper.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 50 yards. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
And they will take a knee here. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.